This video is meant for the UG first semester students pursuing a course in English Honours. Today I shall be discussing about William Shakespeare's sonnet number 130, which is popularly known as "My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun." It has to be remembered that William Shakespeare, who was writing during the Elizabethan and the Jacobean periods, had written 154 sonnets. Out of those 154 sonnets, the first 126 sonnets are dedicated to the Earl of Southampton, Henry Wriothesley, and it celebrates a kind of platonic love, of friendship. But sonnets 127 to 154 are described as the dark lady sonnets. So, by the very number of this sonnet, which is 130, you can decipher that it belongs to the dark lady sonnets. But before talking about the sonnet, it has to be clarified what is a sonnet. A sonnet is basically a 14-line poem, and it derives its name from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song. Now, William Shakespeare was not the only one writing sonnets during the Elizabethan period. We can see that Watt and Surrey had written Tottle's Miscellany, published by Richard Tottle. Who is this Watt? His name is Thomas Watt. And Earl of Surrey is known as Henry Howard. His name was Henry Howard. So Tottle's Miscellany is one sonnet sequence. Then we can see that Philip Sidney had written Astrophel and Stella. Edmund Spenser had written Amoretti. Samuel Daniel had composed Delia. And Shakespeare's 154 sonnets. Now, let us get into the poem. Shakespeare starts off by saying that my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. This entire poem will be dealing with the negative. A kind of negative capability can be seen here. Because what William Shakespeare tries to do is to put forward the idea that one should not love by adjudicating the physicality of beauty, because physical beauty will wither away, but the mind should have its own eye to love, because our lives are very temporary and this body is a very temporal entity. It will die down, it will wither away, it will wilt. Many lovers say that, oh, your eyes are like the sun, oh, your lips are so red, wow, look at your fabulous color of the skin, you have such beautiful golden hair. Shakespeare decides to say that I will not go with this trend, because I am not persuaded by the physical beauty of my mistress. I love her for what she is. আমার প্রিয়তমার নয়ন সূর্যের মতন নয়, রৌদ্রের মতন ঝলমলে নয়. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips is red. প্রবালের রং আরো বেশি লাল. তাহলে চোখও সুন্দর নয়, ঠোঁটও সেরকম লাল নয়. If snow be white, why then her breasts are done? অনেক সময় আমরা বলি যে রং ফর্সা মানেই হলো খুব সুন্দর দেখতে, but beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and looks can sometimes be very deceptive. So Shakespeare is saying that she's not that fair as it can be discerned from the very name dark lady. If snow be white, why then her breasts are done? Dun means a brownish color, not so fair. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. So her hair or her tress is not as beautiful, is not the beautiful straightened polished hair that we associate with the beauty myth. But Shakespeare's mistress has hairs which can be compared to wires, but although they look like wires, his love for her is very deep. In the next quatrain, Shakespeare says that he has seen many roses, red roses, white roses. He has seen many roses decorated. I have seen roses damasked. Damasked means decorated with, in a particular pattern. So he has seen roses, red roses decorated, white roses decorated, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. Here he's referring to the makeup, the rouge makeup or the blush cosmetics which girls and women often apply to their faces. So he's saying that the woman whom I love, that is my mistress, she doesn't like to deck up. She doesn't like to embellish herself. She does not like to use too much cosmetics. And in this way, Shakespeare is saying that I see no makeup in her face. And in some perfumes there is more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. So now Shakespeare is saying that even the breath of my beloved is not good and it is stinking. So there are perfumes which give more delight to the olfactory nerves than the breath of his mistress. But still, Shakespeare loves her. After talking about her breath, Shakespeare in the third quatrain now talks about her voice, and he says that whenever I'm talking to my mistress, I love to hear her voice, but I love to hear her speak, but he very well knows that music is more pleasant than her voice, because many lovers tell their beloved that, oh, your voice is so beautiful, it is music to my ears. But Shakespeare doesn't go into that flamboyant flattery. Shakespeare says that I love to listen to her, but it's nothing special. Her voice is nothing special because music is sounding more pleasant. So I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. তার কণ্ঠস্বর শুনতে আমার ভালো লাগে, কিন্তু সঙ্গীতের বাজনা তার থেকে বেশি মধুর, তার কণ্ঠস্বরের থেকে বেশি মধুর। I grant I never saw a goddess go, my mistress when she walks treads on the ground. There are many lovers who tell their beloved that you look like a goddess, তোমাকে দেবীর মতন দেখতে। Shakespeare এরকম বলছেন না। Shakespeare is saying that my mistress is very mortal and she is not a goddess, because whenever she walks, she is on the ground. She's very ordinary, but I don't have to love an extraordinary person. The object of my love is to love another human being, that person doesn't need to have extraordinary features. That is the whole purpose of this poem. Now let us come to the couplet, the final couplet. So in the final couplet, Shakespeare says that although my beloved has so many deformities, her eyes are not beautiful, her skin is not beautiful, her lips are not beautiful, her dress is not beautiful, that is her hair. She is not a goddess. She has so many defects, but even though she has all these defects and deformities, I do love her. And yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare. So, my love for her is unique. It's very rare. As any she belied with false compare. It is at least better than those feigned proposals of love which many people are engaged in right now. It is much better than those feigned and false love. মিথ্যা প্রতিশ্রুতির থেকে সত্যি কথাই ভালো. So Shakespeare ends the poem by saying that my love is very rare and it is much better compared to those people that lie to their mistress or beloved in order to gain physical pleasure. So hence this poem is a beautiful poem which talks about a Keatsian quality named beauty is truth and truth is beauty.